Hi, everyone, and welcome back to The Things We Know. We are actually in person. Look, I can touch her.
Together. Oh, if they're listening, you just believe us.
It's so rare that we've never done this. We've
No, we've
talked
talked about
several
it.
times about doing a pod while we were together.
But then we started having too much fun and forgot.
Yeah, and I'm about to have too much fun and forget. I'll cover this up because we're not getting sponsorship, but before we do that, we
Yeah.
decided to record a quick pod. We just finished our third best chapter yet retreat, the Plot Twist Getaway, here in Chandler, Arizona. We announced the next one, which we'll talk about here in a second. But we just had this great idea to kind of pop on, and this is going to be a long pod. This is actually going to be kind of probably pretty short, but really download in real time what just happened and why we love these retreats so much. So I will let you start.
Yeah. I think I'm so glad we're doing this because our very first retreat ended and we both had to split up. We had to go in two different directions. We were helping people get back to the airport and we didn't get to debrief right away. And our hearts were so full and it was such a beautiful, magical wrap up because what we'll say is probably several times on this pod and continue to say is the people who come are so incredible. And so the opportunity to sit here and talk about it, and we actually have one in the room, which is so awesome. And is great because each retreat builds on the other, and you don't have to have gone to one to come to one, but for us, it's just an incredible unfolding of some of the people who have come to tour all three. So this one, the theme of this one, our retreats are the best chapter yet. We're really both in our own coaching businesses and together really dedicated to women stepping into their best chapter yet, no matter what it is, whatever time in life it is, no matter what it's about. And this one was called the Plot Twist Getaway. And just playing on that theme of the best chapter, everyone loves a good plot twist. Not everybody chose their plot twist. And what we really wanted to do is invite people, whether they're like ready for one or they are like, what do I do with this plot twist? I wasn't planning on this, to walk away feeling really empowered and excited and grounded in so they can rise up right into it. And it was incredible. It's what we hoped it would be for them. And also we curate a lot of what we do around who's coming. So I love, our tradition of meeting with everyone ahead of time and really getting an idea of who's coming. And so the idea was to welcome everybody and really get a sense of what it is that they're doing. And instead of kind of getting right to like, okay, what am I going to do? And what's the plan? I like how we grounded in to what is it that that you need to sit with? What's the hard stuff that constantly keeps you from moving in the direction you want to move? Or what's the hard stuff around this imposed plot twist that is making it feel really difficult, and in hopes of really kind of allowing everybody to bravely feel themselves resilient to that and see the light in their way through it with each other witnessing. And it was really powerful shit.
Yeah, it was really fucking good. I think so. Two things come to mind. I'm going to say the first thing first, which is logical. I think what I loved about the first part of this that you led around acknowledging the grief that we all have in our lives for whatever reason and how that grief might hold us back is oftentimes for women, plot twists do happen to us and we just burrow on. That old saying of like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I will. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I will. And oftentimes when plot twists are imposed upon us, there is some grief involved and we don't honor that grief. We might feel it for a second, but then, and you spoke so beautifully to this, but I don't live there. Okay, well, that's a great place to not live in grief. But at the same time, if you don't spend some time working through it, it's going to re-show back up. And so to me, that piece on the first in the morning was so powerful because it gave the space to, like, it opened up the space so that they could step into the next best chapter.
Totally.
Right?
Oh, yes. And before we get to the afternoon, the other thing I want to say that I hope landed for everyone, I'm not sure we really said this specifically. Actually, maybe we kind of did, but for anyone listening, I think that we don't I think we would all admit, we don't actually, even if we have the vocabulary, we forget to properly label our emotions.
Mhm.
And so I can feel irritated. I can feel really judgmental with myself, really self-critical. I can feel frustrated. I can feel overwhelmed. And oftentimes somebody like a coach, a friend, or a therapist or somebody has been like, I actually think you're grieving.
Mm.
And I think there was a lot of nods this weekend around that, right? Like you're sad, but you're like questioning what it's about, or you're really pissed off, or you're really anxious. And a lot of that gets mislabeled. And really, when we call it grief, it opens up and lets you see what it is. And it gives you such permission to go, oh, no wonder I'm like this right now. No wonder things feel hard. I wasn't actually properly labeling what this is.
Well, you and I even did that sitting out on the patio one day, and we were talking about um, taking time to relax, or what I think society could deem like, oh, she's being lazy, or oh, she's relaxing, and blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And I said, well, what's my excuse? Because I'm like, oh, but I'm a manifestor. I'm supposed to relax. And you were like, dude, you lost both your parents in 5 months' time. And I was like, oh, right, right. But that's my point,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's like, yes, that happened, and I got through it. And this is going to come out after, but it's like, I'm just now surpassing 5 years that they've both been gone. And I think I forget. It's like, okay, thank you, next, right? Like, I've done that, I've grieved, but it does re-show up, and could be the reason I need to relax or let something unfold slower than maybe I'd
Yes.
even like.
Yes. And I think the opportunity to really sit, go deeper, be witnessed. And also, what's really important when you actually do get a safe place like a retreat, to name it and even work through it, or just be really kind with it, be really gentle with it. The opportunity for the women who took turns listening and witnessing, for them to say, I felt honored that you shared it with me, is
Yeah.
so key. Because we all go out in the world and we have these pains and these hurts. And I'll speak for myself, but I know from this weekend, and I know in general, everyone can relate to this. We sometimes kind of buck up and go out and we think, I don't want to bring everyone down with my shit. I don't want to bring everyone down with my stuff. And or I don't want to be the poop in the punch bowl.
Lovely.
But honestly, for people to like actually get a chance, and maybe it doesn't happen at a party, but for people to actually, ask someone, could you sit with me? I just need to be witnessed around something, or I have to use that language. You could say, I'm really sad and I would just
Yeah.
love to, just be with a friend right now. It actually is a gift to that person to let them do that for you.
1,000,000%. So talking about, this was the other thing that I was going to ask. So talking about imposed versus choosing, right? Sometimes we have plot twists imposed, sometimes we choose them. Um, I feel like I had both at the same time, in that we were choosing to do this podcast and create these retreats, and I was laid off from my job. So it's interesting how both can be true at the same
That's a
time.
really good point. That's true.
What about you? I mean, we both had a lot of plot twists.
I mean, I feel like yeah, there just I've had that happen a lot of timing where, I launched something in my business and then, my son got hospitalized, right?
Right.
Or that I was like starting a business when my dad was, kind of in his last weeks, and that
Right.
sort of all just happened at once. Or when I first left my full-time job to, kind of begin a new thing, Brendan ended up switching hospitals and I had to put everything on hold. So it is funny that you're right. Like some things you set out to do and other things happen for you, and you have choices whether to like
Yeah.
put them on hold, reconfigure them differently. I think you made a really great example this weekend, and I've been there myself, and I've also reframed this for other people, which is you have an idea. Let's say you want to start a business, and financial things in your family or just in the world make it really difficult for you to leave your job. You can really reframe that as this job, this paycheck that I'm grateful for is funding me growing my passion here, that I really want to turn into something that replaces that. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm you know, I'm failing or I'm never going to do it. I'm only doing it part-time. No, you're going to do it with some focus and, you know, some structure. But when you look at it that way, you really don't end up hating the job. You appreciate what it's allowing you to do. And I think that that's a way to work with, there's this choice and then there's like a plot twist that's imposed. You make it work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds a little bit like compromise, but I think sometimes it is the best way to keep moving forward.
Right. Well, yeah. And it's sort of a compromise with yourself versus having to compromise for someone else, I guess.
And
it's a choice.
I really love so much what you did Saturday afternoon. I say Saturday, that was yesterday afternoon. It feels like a week ago. It's yesterday. Lisa's whole afternoon, which was so beautiful, started with like, you know, what's my purpose? And the most beautiful thing was, and anyone listening, I encourage you to do your own version of this, asking everyone, and nobody was the wiser, right? Like just name some people you admire and then write everything you admire about them, about that first person. And then, you know, the way you did it was, I don't need to get into the specifics of it, but really noticing what words you were repeating among those 5 people.
Yeah.
And highlighting those. And then, you know, and then identifying with them as your own traits. Like, and you had everyone read it and just say, what did you notice? And we all notice, it's funny, the things you admire in other people you have in yourself, which is such a beautiful reminder, or maybe people were really learning that for the first time, that we mirror the things that we're drawn to. We wouldn't be drawn to them if we didn't possess them ourselves. And I do say that to people who say to me, like, I admire this about you. I'm like, well, you possess that. That's probably why you appreciate it. But the way you did it was just so beautiful because I think I just saw everyone's, not just their faces, but their hearts kind of just lighting up at that. Like, I actually have this. I possess this, you know? And
yeah.
That was really, really cool. I loved that.
And then we completed today with an ability to anchor into that so that when they go home, they don't lose this. Kari and I have been at enough events. We've run events, we've been at events where this is utopia, right? And everybody is feeling so accepted and loved and abundant. And then you have to go back to your life. And hopefully you've got a life that is an easy way back in. But for many of us, one of our other participants talks about a pink cloud, like you're in a pink cloud and then you go home and it's like, oh shit, I still have to pay the bills. I still have to do this. I still have to do that. And you can almost feel depleted right away if you don't have a way to anchor into the experience you've had at the retreat. And so that is always really important for us to create as the closing of the container. And so we had each person kind of step into what they want to look in the mirror and say to themselves as they move forward.
Yeah, I loved that.
So do we want to say what the next one is and then bring in our guest?
Yes.
That's why I keep looking over here. Our guest is over here. And she's like,
yes. If we get better and better at this, each time we kind of know what it is. This time we were ready. Our next one is back in Chicago at the Voco that we loved. It's the first weekend of October, so the 3rd through the 5th. And it's called
Brave and Boundless. So excited. We just had the podcast about women who are being brave in this environment that the America is living in right now. And so it just felt like the perfect companion piece to talk about our next retreat, which is inviting women, certainly ones that have already come to our retreats. And if you're listening and this is intriguing to you, it's an invite to you as well to be able to step into your next best chapter, being brave and boundless. So yes, October 3rd through the 5th. The link is in the show notes. You can sign up with a down payment and then there's a payment plan, or you can pay in full and get a call with either Kari or I.
And that's a 1 hour coaching call.
1 hour coaching call.
It's 1 hour focused on you and what's in your path and what's ahead for you. And it could be a great addition to whatever you want to do outside of that retreat, before or after.
And if you were listening to the pod when we had the fall retreat in 2024, you know, I lived 20 years in Chicago. October, especially that first weekend in October, is typically kind of the best weather ever. We had a phenomenal time in Chicago last year in 2024.
It was 80 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and the sky was the perfect color blue, and Voco is a gorgeous hotel in downtown Chicago, right on the river. Our room, we got to look out at the river, which felt very like watching it flow, just like we were watching our participants flow through their transformation. So we are super psyched to be able to go back there and spend time. We even got a little Mr. Beefin. Shout out to
To the bear.
to the bear. So what we asked well, she wanted to come in and watch, and we are like, well, you got to pay to play. But we're so
Surprised she hasn't, like, if she ran out the door, I guess our even watching would have seen her.
Yeah. But really, I'm so honored to introduce you to Kymbre. She's come to all 3 of our retreats. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I have watched her transform in the last 18 months. I actually watched her transform in about 5 minutes time today.
Yeah.
Because one of the things we had everyone do is stand up and hear a word from each other participant. And she got up there and she was like, can I just turn around and not like receive? And then by the time it was over, she was like, can I stay up here longer? It was amazing.
Yes.
So I'm going to scooch out of the way and I'm going to let you scooch in here, Kymbre.
This is Kymbre, and I'm been very, very lucky to be her coach and friend. Come on in.
More.
Yeah, you must scoot in. Lisa, did you want to join too?
No, I'll be over here. I'll be the peanut gallery.
So,
Hi. I'm nervous.
don't be. You've got a great voice. You got a great voice.
You have a great voice.
Yeah, it's really the only qualification. No, just kidding. And you're also a coach and a budding therapist. So do you mind just sharing, like, why did you come to the first retreat, and why did you keep coming back?
Oh my gosh. I came to their first retreat. I was just at such a time in my life when I knew it was time for change, and I didn't really know how. And at that time, like, you were a coach of mine and you're like, hey, I have this thing and I really think like the connection, and the things that you would get out of it. And so I honestly just came, like, I'm an introvert. I was like, this is like so terrifying. I can't believe I'm doing this. And it really helped me solidify being able to stand in the things that I want for myself and that I believe I can have, and then being able, like, to be around you guys in the container that you provide to feel safe to pursue those things without fear of judgment. As for coming back, it truly comes down to connection for me, because there hasn't been a single participant, and you two, that isn't just filled with so much love, so much acceptance, and so much immediate safety and security. And just and sometimes to show up like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even, I don't quite have it all figured out. And you're like, that's all right. And here's what we get to do. And here's, how you can work through that. And so it's just a really beautiful, abundant space to just be present, to just be, and to be fully and unconditionally accepted.
And I also want to reflect back. You've heard Lisa and I talk about this. If you've ever heard any of our episodes where we referred to our retreats, we did talk about, at our first one, we had these 2 amazing women that were 72, and we had someone in their late 20s here, and this was Kymbre, and who was leaving her tiny child for the first time. And then we had all these people in between. And what has stood out each of these retreats, that we've been lucky to have your presence, and we heard it today, you are this wise old soul who, and from the time I've coached you, I've seen this. You have incredible insight, not just for yourself and your daughter, but for the world and for people you work with. And you offer that with each person. So even though you snap into this lens of like, I don't even know what it is, and you guys say it's okay, you also are like dropping some truth bombs and like really offering people some great wisdom. And like Lisa has, has been really holding that mirror up for you. Like, how are you going to bring that back to yourself? How are you going to take that home? You come here and you offer so much, and you're grounded in like ancient wisdom. And I appreciate what you bring to it too. And I'm so glad that we can serve you that way.
Yeah. I thank you guys for even saying this. I mean, because sometimes I think I've had even you guys and so many other people say like, I'll believe in you until you believe in yourself. You even said like, I have that on my website, right?
Yep.
And it slowly like wants to shine through. And even just even like, I know I hear it from you guys, but when I hear it from other participants, like a couple ladies actually reflected that back on me. I was like, wow, really, thank you for saying that. Like, that's so insightful. And I'm going to take that with me and process and to really be able to turn it around and use it for my coaching clients and my therapy clients. So I just thank you for holding that space.
We should have had her do the interview with the crown on.
Oh, please, I know. Damn it.
I think I have it. Just real quick for the watchers.
Yeah, please.
The watchers. If it wasn't a gift from
She
Melissa.
said she's an introvert. I'm not sure that's true.
Look at this. We should definitely do some music over it.
I know.
Some flowers. Thank you. Thank you. You can keep it on for a few more minutes.
Thank you. I think I will.
I'll just
Thank
I'll peep in from
Yeah.
behind. Oh yeah, I guess I
It's
can
gonna-
scoot in.
No, please.
Yeah, one of the things that I love about not only repeat participants is that, and I was saying this to you, I said it to a couple other, the women that have come before. You get to then also be sort of the mentors to the new people, right? So if you're listening and you're thinking, oh, I mean, I kind of want to do this, but oh, I don't, a room full of people I don't know. I guarantee you within 10 minutes of showing up, you are going to have brand new friends. You reflected this, but one of the things I always think with our participants, and you and I both, we stand at the front of the room and we just kind of look over and we're just like, oh my God, all of these women. But every one of them is being served and also serving, right?
Right.
So it's yes, Kari and I are leading this. Yes, it's our content, but the magic happens in the community, in the full breadth of every woman that's walking in this room. I often, when I'm talking to somebody and I'm inviting them in personally, it's like, you're going to get a lot out of this, but every other woman's going to get a lot out of you being there.
Yeah.
And so I sort of put that out in general for you guys to know that, yes, this is for you, but you're also going to be helping others. And if that's the focus you have to go into to say yes to yourself and do this, then please do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so worth it.
It is. And we're getting better and better at really understanding that the content needs to serve the connections and not the other way around.
Yeah.
And I love that, like where, I think in the past, a younger version of me would have been like, we need more. It's like the exact right amount to serve the incredible people here and the time that they need with this work. And I think it's getting better and better, and it gets better because we get great feedback and we get great participants. So it was fun.
Yeah, we almost always get, I wish this was longer, and it's
Yep.
and for now, it's gonna stay this amount, although we have plans, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
So again, it will be October 3rd through the 5th in gorgeous downtown Chicago at the Boco Downtown Chicago Hotel. The Eventbrite link is up top. So go check it out. You are always welcome to contact us at the Things We Know podcast 23@gmail.com. If you have any questions, Kari and I, even if you've never met us before in your life, but you've talked back to us in the pod, we hear that a lot. Like as you're talking, I think, oh yeah. So we are your friends. So if you ever want to ask to hop on a call with us and think it through. I mean, I've had those conversations with people. It's like, I don't know if this is the right thing. We're not bullshitters. So if we don't feel like it's for you at this point, we will tell you.
We've actually told people that.
Yeah, like I don't think this is the right time. It means nothing about you. It just means we want you to show up when you're willing and ready and able to participate at a full level, because that's how you're going to get the most out of this.
And it's fun too, and we eat well.
We eat very
amazing
well.
food, lots of laughter, and just to be in the presence of these two goddesses and their wisdom, and the container that they're able to create and the space that they give each of us to just share our own stories and still at the end of it connect and thrive and create what's best for us. Like there's no way you can go wrong.
Aw.
Well,
Oh,
that's all that needs to be said. What else is there?
There really is. I think the last thing I want to say is, I feel like when Kymbre gets home, she needs to go buy a crown
Yeah.
because it just sits so very well on your head.
Take it. Just take it. It can be alone until next time I see you. Melissa,
What?
Melissa would love that.
Melissa
Are
would
you
love
sure?
that.
Yeah. Will
Absolutely.
you let her feel you have a turn or not?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll share it, mate. I don't know, mate. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I can share, but oh my
like
gosh, I'd
it.
be so honored.
It's like the sisterhood of the traveling pants. This can be the traveling
Traveling
crown.
Yes, please. Oh man, this is divine. I
Thank
love it.
you for saying yes at the last minute.
I know. Thank you guys. I have no words to even express my gratitude and
Wow.
the love and the love and strength you see in me that you show me and just for believing in me sometimes more than I believe in myself.
Yeah, that's what we're here
I
for.
literally
That's what we're
can
here
do
for.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Thanks everyone for listening, and we will be back next week. Bye.
Bye. Your nails are